Moses joined me on the desk. Now, I know, Moses, you're a huge How I Met Your Mother fan, and so you must have been really excited when you kind of saw that.
Well, it was great. I love the Robin Sparkles whole thing. It was good to see all those Canadians in there. Paul Schaefer was in it. You saw Alex Trebek in there, Katie Lang, quite a few Canadians that have made it well in the United States. But Priestley Donut, I don't know, diabetes I should say, is coming up. You'll become a diabetic if you eat one of those things.
You could easily make one yourself. Just grab the donut, take a Timbit, shove it in there.
We already have things like the Double Down. We don't need any more gluttonous material. But hey, let's move on to basketball, which is really huge, especially with the college recently. Tough losses, though, for the ladies. Hard-fought losses against King's College as well. Matt Schumont tells us, although the Rustlers have been in the thick of things all season, finding consistency has been the big issue.
Starting the season 5-0, the Rustlers have gone 4-8 since. The girls have competed in every game with chances to win, but finding some consistency has been a problem.
It's becoming more and more evident to the coaching staff, turnovers. We're turning over the ball like 30-plus times a game. And we're a fairly efficient team when we take care of it, but turning it over, it causes bad shots. It's kind of a spiral for us. So if you look at Friday night, we played good defense, gave up 16, 14, 15. Then in the fourth, we gave up 24 points off of turnovers. So that's kind of been the difference in our losses.
Hoping to find that consistency with a good week of practice, they hit the road for a pair of games against the Keano Huskies, a team that has lost 13 straight.
It's a nice chance for our girls to play with a little less pressure on them. Just go out, do what we do very well, and hopefully we can see a lot of girls in action because as playoffs come around, we're going to start narrowing down our bench a little bit more.
Learning to take care of the ball, try new drills where if we turn over the ball, we have to run the rest of the drill. So just applying that to them, especially showing the coach that we can do the little things and put together a couple wins.
Last week's losses put the Rustlers in a tie for 6 with Olds College. The Rustlers do have the tiebreaker, but know they have to finish strong so they can get that extra week off.
It's extremely important. Not only is it going to give us and our team confidence going into those playoffs, but it's going to give us that extra rest and break that we can use to be preparing for other teams that we're going to be facing.
We definitely could use the rest and to work on stuff for ourselves during that time, so it's important to get these 4 wins because we know we're capable of it. We just have to put it together.
Matt Schumont, Newcap Sports.
All right, and the snow may be on the ground, but that hasn't stopped the Hartnell MacArthur Celebrity Golf Classic Committee to start planning this year's event. Now, it's been announced that Washington Capitals goalie and Lloydminster product Braden Holtby has been added as a co-host, making it the Hartnell MacArthur and Holtby Celebrity Golf Classic.
When we met this year to start our third year, we just approached Braden and said, would you be interested? And we asked Scott and Clark if they were comfortable, and everybody was in agreement to make it a Hartnell MacArthur Holtby year for this year's event.
As for the entertainment, former lead singer of Default and now country artist Dallas Smith will be performing at this year's banquet.
Really excited. He came actually highly recommended from Aaron himself. He told us when we left last year that he's the guy that we should look for this year. So it was good to hear that. He's going to be great. So we're really looking forward to having him.
Over $400,000 has been raised in the first 2 golf charities, and each year 60% of the money goes to the Lloydminster Region Health Foundation, with 10% going to the 2 school divisions, leaving 30% for local groups who apply within the application process.
We've increased our open charity applications to 30%, and for those groups that have been recipients in the last couple of years, they can go back on the website and have an application there coming up in the next couple of weeks. And for those groups that haven't applied or haven't had success in the last couple of years, we encourage them to do the same.
The 2-day event begins June 24th. Now, for the past 4.5 months, the Lloydminster Universal Heat have been preparing for the playoffs. They knew they'd get there, and now they're just 2 games away from making a run to a provincial title. 21 wins, 4 losses, 6 ties. There's little doubt the Heat are atop of the Charger North Division class. Next week, they'll face Fort Saskatchewan, a team that has less points, or half the points, of Lloydminster.
They're a physical team. They like to try to get under our skin, so we just got to stay out of that stuff. And they're a big team, so we got to move our feet and draw penalties and capitalize on that.
Despite beating the Rangers in all 4 meetings this season, the Heat aren't going into the series with arrogance, especially after losing 2 and tying 1 of their last 5.
It's not always going to be easy, and maybe we thought that's what it was going to be like. So you just got to bring your game every time, or else that's every team's capable of beating you in this league. So you just got to bring your game every night.
The Heat wrap up their season with a home game at 12 on Saturday against Spruce Grove, and a trip to Camrose Sunday night. Day 2 of the Alberta Boston Pizza Cup in Leduc began this morning with Kevin Cooey in action. The defending champ faced Brent Bowell from the Saville Sports Centre in Edmonton, and Cooey would need just 8 ends in this one to beat Brent Bowell 5-2, advancing to the A qualifier. Meanwhile, Kevin Martin had an interesting day coming back to win in an extra end 7-6 over Jamie King. Martin will face Cooey tonight. In the afternoon draws, the B event saw Wade White capture 4 in the third and a steal of 6. I repeat, a steal of 6 in the fourth end to seal Brendan Botcher's fate on this day, 12-3 in 6 ends. Charlie Thomas wins in a blowout as well, 6 ends over Graham Powell. All Thomas's points came without hammer. Steals of 3 in the first and second ends, 2 more in the third, and 3 more in the fourth was all the Thomas rink needed. Also, Aaron Sluchinski steals 2 in the 10th for a 6-4 victory over James Paul, and Kurt Balderston beats Matthew Blandford 9-3. The Lakeland Rustlers men's basketball team are currently fighting for a playoff spot with 4 games remaining in the regular season. Hoping to guide the team into the postseason is shooting guard Kadeem Willis. Matt Schumont has more on this week's edition of Superstar Next Door.
Kadeem Willis grew up with the game of basketball, learning a lot from watching his older brother.
He kind of really led me into basketball. He knew so much, and I kind of followed him in his footsteps in a way. And just being around a lot of ballers in the neighborhoods and stuff like that, and that's I always had a love for the game.
All the way from Maple, Ontario, Kadeem decided to come to Lakeland, but it wasn't just for their basketball program.
I wanted to become a man, being on my own, and I heard it was a great program here, so I took interest, and I decided to come out here and give it a shot.
Kadeem, now a veteran on the team, was named captain, an easy decision for head coach Tom Grote.
I've got a lot of 18 and 19-year-olds on the team that are playing college for the first time. And yeah, they're their best player on the high school team, but this is a whole nother level. So they're learning how to play at this level. And he presents a good role model for them. They can see the intensity that he brings, the emotion that he brings, and they try to match it. So yeah, it's great.
Some of these guys come out of high school and, they look for leadership. So I'm just there trying to make sure, I'm giving them that positive feedback and stuff like that and trying to help their game.
Matt Schumont, Newcap Sports.